11. Terrifying ancient discoveries beneath China that are rewriting human history. Hello, and welcome to the Ancient History Channel. My friend, have you ever wondered what secrets might still be hidden beneath the seemingly silent ground beneath our feet? Secrets so powerful that with just a single accidental shovel strike, the entire history of humanity might have to be rewritten from scratch. If you haven't, then today, come along with me. Together, we're about to embark on a thrilling journey of discovery, one where every inch of land in China is not just soil, but a gateway leading back thousands, even millions of years into the past. You know, right beneath us, there could be ancient tombs never before discovered, strange skeletal remains unlike anything ever recorded in human history, or exquisitely crafted artifacts so advanced that even modern scientists are left stunned, unable to explain them. Just thinking about it sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? But what's truly remarkable is that these discoveries are not simply about digging up old relics. Each one is like a slap in the face of everything we once believed to be true. Some findings suggest that ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we ever imagined, while others raise unsettling questions about whether human history is really as straightforward as we've been taught. So, are you ready to explore with me? If you are, then right now, let's dive into the very first discovery in our list of the 11 most terrifying ancient discoveries ever found beneath the ground in China. Stories that are thrilling, haunting, and incredibly captivating. And who knows, by the time you finish watching, you might find yourself asking, is everything we know truly the whole truth? Now let's begin. Bound. Kneeling skeleton from 3,000 years ago. In the world of archaeology, there are discoveries that not only reveal the existence of ancient civilizations, but also open doors to chilling mysteries buried for thousands of years. And in Henan Province, China, a recent excavation has left experts stunned after uncovering a headless skeleton, kneeling with its hands bound, as if frozen in its final moments before being sacrificed. That image is not only haunting, but it also raises a series of unsettling questions. Who was this person? Why were they executed in such a ritualistic manner? And is this merely an isolated case, or just the tip of a much darker chapter in human history? Yes, we are stepping back into the Shang dynasty around 3,000 years ago, a period known not only for its remarkable advancements in bronze casting, but also for its blood-soaked sacrificial rituals. According to inscriptions found on animal bones and turtle shells, large-scale human sacrifices were once an integral part of spiritual and political life in the capital of Yanshu. It was believed that offering human lives to the gods would ensure abundant harvests, national prosperity, and the stability of the ruling court. And now, a vivid piece of evidence of those rituals has once again emerged. Right beneath the quiet ground of Henan, this kneeling, headless skeleton with bound hands, unlike hundreds of others found lying in more typical positions, has opened up a new dimension in archaeological research on sacrificial practices. Could the kneeling posture have been a special ritual position, performed just before execution to enhance its sacred significance, or to demonstrate absolute submission to the gods? Prior to this shocking discovery, Chinese experts had already documented more than 13,000 human sacrifices over the 200-year reign of the Shang dynasty, a number that sends chills down anyone's spine. Most victims were prisoners of war, slaves, or individuals believed to have been chosen as offerings to the gods. However, the discovery of a skeleton in such a unique position may suggest that these sacrificial practices were far more complex than we once imagined. What do you think, knowing that 3,000 years ago, people believed that flesh and blood were a bridge to the divine, that they carried out rituals filled with symbolism, yet incredibly brutal, where death was not merely an end, but also a sacred act? No matter what your answer may be, one fact remains undeniable. This discovery is pushing scientists to delve deeper into understanding ritual roles, social hierarchies, and execution processes in ancient sacrificial ceremonies. At the same time, it raises profound questions about the boundary between faith and brutality in human history. Do you think that headless skeleton once belonged to a prisoner of war, a criminal, or perhaps even someone honored to be offered to the gods? Can we truly understand the mindset and beliefs of ancient people when looking back at archaeological evidence like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Mass grave of 300 bodies reveals the horrifying secret of a Mongol massacre in Europe. You know, there are chapters of history not written in ink, but in human bones. And sometimes it takes hundreds of years, until the earth is turned over, for the truth to finally speak. That truth was revealed in the Russian city of Yaroslavl, where an archaeological excavation unexpectedly uncovered one of the darkest memories in European history, a time when Mongol forces swept through the land, leaving behind not only destruction, but chilling mass graves. This story takes us back to the year 1238, when an army led by Batu Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan, invaded this region. This campaign was not merely a war, it was a storm of devastation. And what remains buried beneath the ground today is undeniable evidence of that destruction. The excavation took place near the Assumption Cathedral, a structure dating back to the 13th century that was destroyed in 1937. As archaeologists dug deeper, they uncovered something deeply disturbing: around 9 mass graves containing the remains of more than 300 people. Just imagine that. For such a small area to hold so many lost lives, how brutal must the event have been? But what makes this story even more heartbreaking lies in the deeply human details. In one grave discovered beneath the remains of a once wealthy home that had been burned to the ground, researchers found 15 bodies: men, women, and children. They were not warriors or soldiers, just ordinary people, families who never had the chance to escape. DNA analysis later revealed a truth that leaves anyone speechless. Among the victims was a 3-generation family: a grandmother around 55 years old, her daughter between 30 and 40, and a granddaughter about 20 years old. They were found lying side by side, as if in their final moments, they refused to let go of one another. Just imagine what they must have gone through, amid the chaos of war, with fires raging and screams echoing all around them. The marks left on their bones provide part of the answer. Clear cuts and stab wounds show that their deaths were violent, leaving no chance to resist. In addition, burn marks confirm that the entire city was set ablaze, an act intended to erase all traces of life. But what makes this story even more haunting is that these bodies were not buried immediately. Analysis shows they were left exposed, lying under the snow for an extended period of time. It wasn't until spring arrived, around May to June, when the bodies began to decompose and flies gathered, that survivors returned, collecting the remains and hastily burying them in shallow mass graves. Just imagining that scene alone is enough to send chills down your spine. According to researchers, this is not just an archaeological discovery. It is vivid evidence of the sheer brutality of the invasion led by Batu Khan, a tragedy that many Russians consider one of the greatest in their history. It just goes to show, history is not only written in books, it is preserved in memories buried deep beneath the earth. And sometimes, when those memories are uncovered, what we find is not victory, but losses beyond repair. Terrifying, isn't it? Royal treasure, hidden in a tomb, ravaged by grave robbers. Have you ever imagined that beneath the ground of an ordinary dormitory, where students walk back and forth every day, there could lie a story so shocking it has remained hidden for hundreds of years? It may sound like something out of a movie, but this actually happened at the dormitory complex of Beijing Normal University in China. The story began when the university decided to expand its student housing. Everything seemed routine, until a massive dome suddenly emerged from layers of soil, rubble, and broken bricks. At just a glance, it was clear. Whatever lay beneath was far from ordinary. Construction was immediately halted, reports were filed, and an archaeological team quickly arrived at the scene. After hours of intense work, they confirmed that this was a large-scale ancient tomb, but unfortunately, it had already been visited by grave robbers long ago. Inside the main tomb were 5 smaller burial chambers, and 4 of them had been almost completely looted, leaving virtually nothing behind. Just hearing that is enough to make anyone feel a deep sense of loss, right? But the story doesn't end there. To uncover the identity of the tomb's occupant, archaeologists continued their work. As they dug deeper, they discovered a special stele, inscribed with Manchu on one side and Chinese characters on the other. After careful study, they determined that the tomb belonged to the daughter of a high-ranking official during the reign of Qin Shi Emperor. The young girl had fallen seriously ill and passed away at just 7 years old. When considering her noble status and the countless burial items that had been stolen, archaeologists could not help but feel a deep sense of anger. However, just as the excavation was nearing its end, something unexpected happened. The archaeologists noticed that parts of the tomb walls sounded hollow rather than solid. Members of the team gently tapped along the surface and realized there might be a small hidden compartment concealed within. After carefully opening it, they discovered 55 valuable burial items inside, completely untouched. Each artifact was of exceptional quality, including exquisite douce porcelain and wine vessels crafted from the highly prized Hetian jade. This discovery filled the experts with excitement. They even jokingly thanked the grave robbers, who had likely been distracted by gold and silver and overlooked the hidden compartment entirely. Among all the recovered treasures, the most remarkable was a Ming Dynasty Dukai porcelain bowl, believed to be a gift from the Jiangxi emperor to the young girl on the occasion of the Lantern Festival, the 15th day of the 8th lunar month in the Chinese calendar. According to archaeologists, Dukai porcelain is created using a sophisticated technique. Blue and white designs are first painted under the glaze, then the piece is fired. Afterward, additional decorative details are painted over the glaze and fired again. This method requires exceptional precision, skill, and craftsmanship, and it originated during the Ming Dynasty. Because of this, a Ming-era Dukai porcelain bowl gifted by the Jiangxi emperor to the intelligent young daughter of a Qing official is extraordinarily rare and valuable. In addition to Dukai porcelain, the burial items also included Hetian jade, also known as Xinjiang jade, a type of jade that remains world-famous to this day. Records show that jade mining in Hetian dates back as far as the Western Han Dynasty. Hetian jade comes in a variety of colors, leading to different classifications such as green jade, yellow jade, white jade, purple jade, emerald jade, and red jade. Among them, white jade is considered the most valuable. White jade, also known as mutton fat jade, is distinguished by its creamy white color, smooth luster, and translucent purity, free of impurities. It is regarded as the finest grade of Hetian jade. For that reason, white jade was reserved exclusively for imperial use, crafted into seals and ceremonial ornaments for emperors. It symbolized the virtues of a noble person and represented power held above all others. Hearing all of this, doesn't it send a chill down your spine? On one side, there is the greed of grave robbers. On the other, the remarkable ingenuity of ancient people who found ways to hide their most precious treasures. And in the end, history itself preserved a secret for us, one that might have been lost forever if uncovered just a little differently. 3. Impossible to replicate treasures from a 2,000-year-old tomb, revealing the peak of ancient craftsmanship. Have you ever imagined that beneath a modest hill, less than about 1,000 feet above sea level, there could be a secret so astonishing that it would leave the entire archaeological community holding its breath for months? It may sound unbelievable, but in Baoding City, Hebei Province, China, such a story truly unfolded, and it all began with something as ordinary as blasting a mountain to build an air raid shelter. As heavy machinery roared and layers of earth and rock were stripped away, workers suddenly uncovered a deep, dark void. It wasn't a natural cave, nor did it resemble any known structure. A mysterious black hole, silent yet strangely compelling, as if it were waiting to be discovered. From that moment on, everything changed. Think about it. If you were standing in front of that strange pit, what would you do? Walk away or keep digging deeper? Maybe opinions differ, but for archaeologists, ignoring it was never an option. They quickly stepped in, but it took a full 3 months of relentless excavation before they finally uncovered a treasure dating back more than 2,000 years. That treasure turned out to be the tomb of Lu Sheng, a regional ruler during the Han Dynasty of ancient China. Inside the tomb, archaeologists discovered more than 10,000 cultural artifacts, including thousands of items made from gold, silver, bronze, and jade, each one carrying the imprint of a glorious era. However, what truly sent shockwaves through the academic world were 3 extraordinary treasures, considered one of a kind and nearly impossible to replicate. The first is the jade burial suit sewn with gold thread, a piece that sounds unusual just by name alone. Instead of iron or steel as one might expect, it was crafted from over 2,000 pieces of jade, meticulously joined together with gold threads in a level of precision that is almost unimaginable. Just think about it. More than 2 millennia ago, people were already capable of creating armor that not only served as protection, but also symbolized power and a belief in immortality. Doesn't that make it a true national treasure? Next is the Jiangxi Palace lamp, an ancient oil lamp that embodies a level of technology surprising even by modern standards. Not only did it provide light, but it was also designed to absorb oil smoke, reducing air pollution, an idea that is still relevant today. The lamp is engraved with 65 characters detailing its weight, capacity, and ownership. Its name, Jiangxi, is believed to be associated with a famous palace of the Han dynasty. Finally, there is a masterpiece that cannot be overlooked, a gilded bronze incense burner. Cast in the shape of overlapping mountain peaks and coated in shimmering gold, this object is not merely functional, it is a true work of art. Even experts admit that its level of craftsmanship is nearly impossible to reproduce, even with modern technology. As you can see, 3 treasures, 3 stories, but they all share one thing in common. Each reflects the extraordinary skill and forward-thinking mindset of ancient people. And you know what? These discoveries have shaken the research community and left history enthusiasts like us wondering, how many more secrets are still lying silently beneath the ground? A low hill, a mysterious dark pit, and a 2,000-year-old tomb. It sounds like fiction, yet it's completely real. So, are you thinking what I'm thinking right now? That beneath our very feet, there are still countless undiscovered treasures, waiting for a single moment of chance to finally emerge into the light? If you feel the same way, don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. The weapon cache. Buried beneath the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the untold secret of 700,000 people. Did you know that deep beneath the ground in China, there lies a massive weapons cache that has remained silent for over 2,000 years? No light, no human traces, yet it contains an entire army prepared for the afterlife? This is the hidden arsenal of one of the most powerful figures in Chinese history, Qin Shi Huang. His tomb is not simply a burial site, it is more like a fully constructed underground world, meticulously built beneath a hill over many years. It is believed that surrounding the tomb is a moat filled with mercury, a mysterious detail that still makes scientists cautious when conducting research. This place continues to guard the secrets of China's first emperor, who died in 210 BC after unifying 6 warring states into a single nation, secrets that, to this day, have not been fully uncovered. About 650 feet southeast of the main tomb lies a special area known as K9801, considered by archaeologists to be the largest burial pit ever discovered within the complex. Covering more than 140,000 square feet, this site resembles a massive storage facility enclosed between 2 protective walls. But what truly sends chills down your spine is not its size, it's what was found inside. Can you guess what they discovered? Dozens of suits of armor and helmets, but not made of metal as you might expect. Instead, they were crafted entirely from stone. Specifically, 87 suits of armor and 43 helmets were uncovered, each one incredibly detailed and finely made. Experts explain that the process of creating these armors combined advanced techniques of the time. First, slate was shaped into armor blanks, then carved into individual plates. These plates were drilled, polished, and finally assembled using copper threads to form a complete suit. Experimental studies show that if a single person were to handcraft one suit of armor with about 600 individual pieces, working an average of 8 hours a day, it would take between 344 and 444 days to complete. In other words, producing just one suit required at least a full year of labor. Yes, you heard that right. Not weeks, not months, but an entire year to create a single suit of armor. And yet, dozens of them were found here. In fact, estimates suggest that the entire burial complex may contain thousands of such suits. Altogether, experts believe more than 5 million stone pieces were used to create these armors and helmets. Just imagine how much labor that would require. It is estimated that up to 700,000 workers, mostly prisoners and slaves, were mobilized to construct this massive complex. But the most chilling part is this. After the work was completed, many of them may have been executed to keep its secrets hidden. And the discoveries don't stop there. Excavations have also uncovered horse harnesses, chariot components, bronze axes, arrowheads, and more, all indicating that this is not merely a burial site, but truly an underground weapons depot, a silent army ready to serve the emperor even in the afterlife. According to Chinese historical records, Qin Shi Huang was born in 259 BC, the eldest son of the king of the Qin state, one of the 6 major states in ancient China. These states fought one another for over 200 years before he conquered them all, unifying China and declaring himself emperor. When he died, Qin Shi Huang was buried in one of the most magnificent tombs ever constructed in China. It is a vast complex of tombs and palaces, larger than a city, with underground chambers filled with soldiers, concubines, servants, and all the necessities the emperor would need in the afterlife. Today, the site has become a major attraction for tourists and researchers from around the world. Yet the secrets hidden within the emperor's tomb remain unsolved, and archaeologists continue their exploration. So what do you think? If one day the final chamber of this tomb is opened, what will we find? A magnificent treasure or truths even more terrifying than anything history has ever recorded? The mysterious spiral well. When we think of a well, most of us probably picture simple rustic wells in rural areas, places where farmers draw up bucket after bucket of cool water for their daily needs. But as time has passed and modern society has continued to develop, those wells have gradually faded into memory. Today, people use running water, more convenient, cleaner, and far more efficient. Old wells have been abandoned, covered in moss, overgrown with weeds, and even in cities, finding an intact traditional well has become increasingly rare. And yet, among the thousands of wells that once existed, there is one so unique that it has become a famous tourist destination, attracting thousands of visitors each year, a structure both ancient and astonishingly unusual. You might not believe it, but this one-of-a-kind well is located in a small village in Shandong, China, a place that once went unnoticed but has now gained widespread attention on social media after a single viral photo. This remarkable well is found in Jiangxi village, Xintai City, Shandong province. Just hearing the name, you might not recognize the location at all. But ever since images of this spiral well began circulating online, it has become one of the hottest check-in spots in the area. Unlike ordinary wells, which are simply deep circular shafts, the well in Jiangxi is an entire architectural structure hidden underground. It reaches a depth of about 85 feet, but what truly stands out is not just its depth, it's the unique spiral design, along with 108 steps leading all the way down to the bottom. This feature makes visitors feel as though they are embarking on a mysterious journey into the earth, almost like stepping into a dragon's cave from an ancient legend. The stair railings are intricately carved with images of winding dragons, creating an atmosphere that is both majestic and solemn, yet deeply enchanting and mysterious. But behind this breathtaking beauty lies a deeply moving story of human resilience in the face of harsh natural conditions. In the past, this region suffered from severe water shortages, especially during drought seasons. To get water, villagers had to travel dozens of miles, crossing hills and rough terrain just to carry buckets of water back home. Life was difficult and full of hardship, which drove them to change their fate by building a well right in their village. But this was no ordinary well. They invited geological experts to study the land, and after careful planning, they decided to construct a spiral-shaped well to best utilize the terrain and access stable underground water sources. From the day the well was completed, the villagers no longer had to leave their homes in search of water. They called it the Happiness Well, not only because it provided a precious water source, but because it symbolized unity, creativity, and the determination to overcome adversity. Today, the well is no longer used for daily water needs, but remarkably, it has not been forgotten. Instead, it has been transformed into a cultural symbol and a popular tourist attraction. The stone steps and intricately carved dragon motifs have been carefully preserved and restored for visitors, and it only took a single aerial photograph shared online for the world to take notice. From an unknown rural structure, it has risen to become a social media phenomenon, drawing visitors from all over who come to admire its beauty, take photos, and listen to the meaningful story behind every step. So you see, what may seem like a simple water well can, in fact, become a symbol of history and culture, a testament to human perseverance in the face of hardship. If you ever have the chance to visit Shandong, don't forget to stop by Jiangxi village. Walk down the 108 historic steps, run your hand along the dragon-carved railings, and feel the echo of time deep within the Happiness Well, a place where past and present meet in the most poetic way. 1,300-year-old royal tomb discovered beneath an elementary school playground. Have you ever imagined that right beneath a schoolyard, where children run, play, and kick soccer balls every day, there could be a secret buried for more than 1,300 years? It sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly what happened at Xiaojingyu Elementary School in Taiyuan City, Shandong Province, China, when workers were constructing a sports field. What seemed like an ordinary project suddenly took a dramatic turn. After just a few shovelfuls of earth, they accidentally uncovered an ancient royal tomb dating back to the Tang dynasty. And when it comes to this period, you probably already know. It's widely considered one of the peaks of Chinese history, an era when culture, art, and imperial power flourished brilliantly. Because of that, discovering a tomb believed to belong to royalty beneath the ground is like opening a doorway straight into that glorious past. As they ventured deeper inside, the scene left everyone astonished. Instead of ruins or faint traces, they found an entire burial chamber system that remained remarkably well preserved. The wall paintings still retained their colors and clear details, each one seemingly telling stories from a distant era. Alongside them were finely crafted ceramic artifacts, preserved almost perfectly, giving the impression that time itself had somehow forgotten this place. Just think about it, a space buried for centuries, yet still maintaining such beauty. Its owner must have been far from ordinary, right? And indeed, according to experts, the tomb most likely belonged to a member of the Tang royal family. However, what makes this discovery even more fascinating is that the true identity of the person buried inside remains unknown. At this point, you're probably wondering, just like everyone else, who was this person? A prince? A princess? Or some powerful figure lost to history? Unfortunately, for now, those questions remain unanswered. And it is precisely this mystery that has made the tomb a focal point for archaeologists. But uncovering its secrets is no simple task. The tomb lies directly beneath the active school grounds of Xiaojingyu Elementary, where students continue to study and play every day. This means that every excavation step must be carried out with extreme caution. Large-scale digging isn't an option, and nothing can compromise the safety of the children. As a result, experts have been working closely with school officials to develop the most careful and comprehensive excavation plan possible. Every step must balance two priorities: preserving the historical value of the tomb while ensuring that the surrounding learning environment remains undisturbed. It may sound straightforward, but in reality, it's an incredibly complex challenge. And here's the most intriguing part. This is only the beginning. What has been uncovered so far is just the tip of the iceberg. To truly understand the story behind this tomb, archaeologists will need to dig deeper, study more carefully, and possibly spend many more years researching it. And by the time that story is fully revealed, one thing is certain: it may become even more chilling than anything we've discovered so far. Invaluable treasure in a 2,000-year-old tomb. In the world of ancient China, the concept of death was never simply the end of life. Instead, it was seen as a gateway to another realm, a place where the soul continued to exist and where the living were responsible for preparing a rich and complete afterlife for the deceased. From this deep-rooted belief, one of the most distinctive aspects of ancient Chinese culture was formed. Elaborate tombs, priceless burial goods, and above all, a strong emphasis on status and identity reflected in every detail of burial practices. And when it comes to tombs that have left later generations in awe, one cannot overlook the fascinating story surrounding the resting place of Liu Mao, a feudal king of the Han dynasty, whose jade coffin was so extraordinary that even notorious grave robbers hesitated before it. Buried more than 2,000 years ago, the tomb of Liu Mao is one of the most astonishing archaeological discoveries, remarkable for both its opulence and its mystery. Strangely, although the tomb had been looted in the past, its most valuable treasure, a coffin crafted entirely from jade, was left untouched. Meanwhile, smaller valuables such as gold nails and metal objects were taken. This raises a question that continues to intrigue many. Why was such an invaluable artifact left behind? Was its spiritual significance so overwhelming that even grave robbers feared it? Or was it simply too massive and structurally complex to move? To this day, these mysteries remain unanswered, only deepening the historical and mystical significance of the tomb. According to historical records, Liu Mao was the son of Liu Ying and a grandson of Liu Bang. After his father passed away in 174 BC, Liu Mao inherited the title and became one of the most powerful feudal lords under the Western Han dynasty. However, his glory did not last long. Just 2 decades later, he became one of 7 kings who rebelled during the reign of Emperor Qing of Han. This uprising is recorded in history as the Rebellion of the Seven States, a major event that shook the Han court and led to severe consequences. All 7 feudal rulers were ultimately defeated, either executed or forced to take their own lives to preserve their honor. Liu Mao was no exception. He chose death in 154 BC, bringing an end to a short yet turbulent life, but leaving behind a legacy buried deep beneath the earth, one that would astonish future generations more than 2 millennia later. The tomb, with its jade coffin, stands as a symbol of the immense wealth and power that a Han-era feudal lord could attain. To ancient people, jade was not merely a precious material. It carried sacred meaning, symbolizing immortality and the eternal protection of the soul from evil. Layers of jade pieces, joined together with gold or silver threads to form burial suits or coffins, are a testament to the extraordinary craftsmanship and the deep reverence for funeral rituals in ancient Chinese culture. Today, the story of this jade coffin, the life of Liu Mao, and the historical significance of the Rebellion of the Seven States not only enrich our understanding of Chinese history, but also inspire admiration for a civilization that reached remarkable heights in both power and spiritual belief. This is more than just an archaeological discovery. It is a gateway into the soul, beliefs, and timeless aspirations for immortality held by ancient people, echoing even to this day. 6.2-ton treasure beneath a house foundation in China. On what seemed like an ordinary morning in Cha Village, part of Jingdezhen City in Jiangxi Province, long known across China as the Porcelain Capital for more than 1,700 years, a group of villagers was laying the foundation for a new house when they unexpectedly struck a hidden treasure. But this was not gold, jade, or jewels. Instead, it was hundreds of thousands of ancient coins, caked in mud, lying silently underground for more than 800 years. According to reports from the Jiangnan Metropolis Daily, the hoard weighed up to 6.2 tons, equivalent to roughly 300,000 ancient coins dating back to the Song dynasty, which ruled China from 960 to 1279 AD. The discovery immediately shocked the entire village, not only because of the sheer scale of the treasure, but also because of the historical mysteries it might reveal. As soon as the news spread, local authorities and archaeological experts from the Jiangxi Provincial Museum quickly stepped in. An official excavation began on October 22, just days after the discovery. Police were also deployed to secure the site, preventing unauthorized digging that could disturb valuable archaeological remains. Beneath layers of hardened soil, container after container of coins was brought to the surface. Most were heavily oxidized, covered in the green patina typical of aged bronze. While their current monetary value is not particularly high, since these coins were common during the Song dynasty, their archaeological value is immense. Each coin serves as a vital clue in reconstructing the economic, commercial, and social life of one of the most prosperous periods in Chinese history. According to Feng Ruxin, head of the local museum, there are 2 most plausible theories regarding the origin of this massive hoard. First, it may have belonged to a group of wealthy merchants who buried their assets to protect them during times of war or instability. Second, it could have been the holdings of an early form of private bank, a primitive financial institution that offered currency exchange and safekeeping services for local residents. Although the exact origin remains unclear, evidence suggests that the coins were buried hastily, without any special protective structure, possibly indicating that the owner encountered an unexpected disaster and never returned to retrieve them. One of the reasons this discovery is so significant lies in the historical context it reflects. The Song dynasty is known for its highly developed monetary economy, expansive trade networks, and major advancements in coin minting technology. The coins themselves, while similar in appearance, mostly bronze with square holes in the center, represent various reign periods, spanning from the time of Emperor Taizu of Song to Emperor Ningzong of Song. According to Feng, the process of cleaning, analyzing, and classifying the entire collection is expected to take 2 to 3 years, due to the precision and care required at every stage. But the story doesn't end there. Even after the official excavation was completed, Many villagers continued digging around the area in hopes of finding more treasure. Some families even paused construction on their homes to search for a chance at newfound wealth beneath their land. The event quickly became a trending topic across media outlets and history forums, as images of ancient coins packed into sacks and wooden crates spread widely on Chinese social media. This unexpected discovery is not only significant from an archaeological perspective, it also sparks curiosity and a deep sense of wonder in modern people about a past that was both glorious and turbulent. Hundreds of years may have passed, and time may erase what lies on the surface, but deep beneath the ground, history continues to tell its story quietly, through each coin, each layer of soil, and each forgotten event buried by time. And it is through discoveries like this that we truly understand the invaluable role of archaeology, to revive what was once lost, and to restore history to every brick, every grain of earth that might otherwise seem lifeless. More than 800 years later, the treasure beneath Cha village is not just a relic of a bygone era, it is a powerful symbol of the connection between the present and the distant past. Once again, history speaks, not through words, but through silent pieces of metal resting beneath the soil, reminding us that beneath every step we take, there may lie an entire chapter of history waiting to be uncovered. The sacred wood that slept for 10,000 years, a treasure worth hundreds of billions in China. Just imagine this scene, an ordinary construction site, excavators digging through the earth as usual. Everyone expects nothing more than concrete, sand, and rock. But then, at a depth of about 33 feet, the shovel suddenly hits something unusual. Not stone, not metal, but a massive tree trunk that has lain silently underground for thousands of years. Just hearing that sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? And yet, this really happened in 2021 at a construction project in Mianyang, Sichuan province. At around 9 p.m. on August 31st, while workers were digging the foundation for 2 buildings, the excavator suddenly stalled. The operator sensed something wasn't right and immediately reported it. When the management team arrived to inspect, they were stunned. The object buried underground was no ordinary material, but a gigantic piece of wood. The deeper they dug, the more astonishing it became. The trunk measured about 5 feet in diameter and nearly 130 feet in length. So massive that it took 3 full days just to clear the surrounding area and lift it out of the ground. What's even more remarkable is that despite being buried for so long, the wood remained largely intact. Just think about it. What could have allowed it to survive for thousands of years like that? Immediately after the discovery, the area was sealed off. The project owner wasted no time reporting it to local authorities and police. Heavy machinery was brought in to transport this treasure to a temporary storage site. By mid-September, experts from museums and professional associations were invited to assess the find. The conclusion left everyone in shock. This was ancient buried wood, also known as sacred wood of the East. So what exactly is this material that causes such excitement? Simply put, it is the remains of ancient trees that were buried underground for thousands of years. In oxygen-poor conditions and through a natural carbonization process, the wood transforms into a highly unique material. Its color ranges from brown and gray to deep black, almost like charcoal, mysterious in appearance and extremely valuable. According to experts, the tree discovered in this case is estimated to be between 3,000 and 10,000 years old. Just hearing those numbers is staggering. Its estimated value is no less than 100 million yuan, and it could even be considered priceless due to its rarity. In ancient times, especially during the Ming and Qing dynasties, this type of wood was used in imperial palaces and even for coffins of emperors. Hearing this, doesn't it make you wonder why such a treasure could lie hidden underground for so many years without anyone knowing? In reality, discoveries like this often come down to pure chance. Back in 2016, a similar piece of wood was revealed after Typhoon Haima, when floodwaters washed everything away and accidentally exposed a 11.5 feet section beneath a river. Returning to this discovery, once its value was confirmed, the project owner decided to hand the entire trunk over to local authorities for proper preservation, a decision widely praised. Because finds like this are not just assets, but part of natural and historical heritage. You see, sometimes the greatest wonders lie right beneath our feet, waiting for a single moment of chance to reveal themselves. One tree trunk, one swing of an excavator, And suddenly, a story spanning thousands of years comes back to life. Isn't that fascinating? Ancient tomb containing 46 glowing coffins. In late December 2006, residents in Shuiku, Jinghan County, Jiangxi Province, China, were using explosives to break rocks for highway construction. During the process, they began to hear strange sounds coming from deep underground. The irregular and inconsistent blasts led them to suspect that there might be unusual hollow spaces beneath the surface. Shortly after hearing these sounds, local residents quickly gathered to inspect the area where the rocks had been blasted. They discovered a deep pit, about 43 feet down. Inside the pit was an enormous ancient tomb filled with valuable artifacts. Even more astonishing, beneath the main burial site, they uncovered 46 identical coffins buried alongside the tomb's owner. Faced with this unexpected situation, the workers immediately reported it to local authorities and archaeologists. A team from China's National Cultural Heritage Administration quickly arrived at the scene. Experts determined that the tomb covered an area of approximately 1,720 square feet and was constructed around 2,500 years ago. This discovery sent shockwaves through the archaeological community, as finding such a large number of ancient coffins dating back thousands of years is an extremely rare event. What made it even more remarkable was what they found upon opening the coffins. Inside were 46 female skeletons that appeared to glow in a mysterious way. These women had died between the ages of 16 and 20. They were buried unclothed and arranged in a specific posture. Surrounding them were numerous items related to sewing and weaving. Archaeologists noted that the remains were highly unusual, as they were covered in crystalline substances. These crystals were clear like glass and emitted a green, jade-like glow in the dark, with the largest crystal measuring up to about 3.3 inches in length. None of the experts present had ever encountered anything like this before. The tomb is believed to be the resting place of Zhang Yu, a ruler of the state of Shu, a small vassal state that existed from the Xia to the Western Zhou periods of ancient China. Based on the number of skeletons, the burial method, and the young ages of the women, researchers believe they may have been victims of sacrificial burial practices. To ensure that he would continue to live in luxury in the afterlife, King Zhang Yu is thought to have forced palace seamstresses to die alongside him. It is believed that these women may have been poisoned, possibly by consuming toxic watermelon. The glowing effect of the remains may be explained by compounds that formed luminescent crystals within the coffins, including ferric phosphate and other unidentified fluorescent substances. Over the course of 2,500 years, these toxic compounds may have transformed into materials capable of emitting light. However, despite these theories, the phenomenon of glowing skeletons has not yet been fully explained by science and remains a mystery in the field of archaeology. Dear friends, even though a great deal of time and effort has gone into researching and understanding these discoveries, many archaeological findings still spark intense debate when it comes to accepting them as truth. But that's the nature of archaeology. It has a unique way of captivating those who are passionate about exploration. So what do you think about these discoveries? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to give the Ancient History channel a like and subscribe so you won't miss out on more fascinating discoveries. For now, goodbye, and see you in the next video.